The history of oil can be traced back thousands of years. The ancient Sumerians used bitumen, a sticky and viscous form of petroleum, to waterproof their boats and construct their buildings. However, it was not until the 19th century that the modern oil industry was born. In the mid-19th century, the demand for whale oil, which was used for lighting, began to decline. This led to the development of kerosene, a refined form of crude oil, which quickly became the preferred fuel for lighting. The first commercial oil well was drilled in Titusville, Pennsylvania, in 1859, marking the beginning of the oil boom in the United States. In the decades that followed, oil became an increasingly important commodity, and the oil industry grew rapidly. The development of the internal combustion engine in the late 19th century led to the widespread use of gasoline, which further increased the demand for oil. During World War I, oil became a strategic resource, and the major powers began to compete for control of oil reserves around the world. This led to the creation of national oil companies, such as Saudi Aramco and Petróleos de Venezuela, which were owned and operated by the governments of oil-producing countries. In the years following World War II, the demand for oil continued to grow, fueled by the rapid expansion of the global economy. The discovery of massive oil reserves in the Middle East in the 1950s and 1960s further increased the importance of oil in the global economy. However, the oil industry was also marked by instability and conflict. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, was formed in 1960, in response to the dominance of Western oil companies. OPEC sought to control the price and supply of oil, and in 1973, it imposed an oil embargo on countries that supported Israel in the Yom Kippur War, leading to a global energy crisis. In the decades that followed, the oil industry continued to be marked by geopolitical tensions and conflicts. The Gulf War in 1991, the U.S. invasion of Iraq in 2003, and the ongoing conflicts in Syria and Yemen are all linked to the importance of oil in the global economy. Today, oil remains one of the most important commodities in the world, and the global oil industry is worth trillions of dollars. The top oil-producing countries are Saudi Arabia, Russia, and the United States. While the largest oil companies include ExxonMobil, Royal Dutch Shell, and BP. However, the oil industry is also facing significant challenges. The global shift towards renewable energy sources, such as wind and solar power, is reducing the demand for oil, while concerns over climate change and environmental degradation are leading to calls for a transition to cleaner energy sources. In addition, the oil industry is facing increasing competition from new technologies, such as electric vehicles, which are becoming more affordable and widely available. This is leading some analysts to predict that the age of oil may be coming to an end. Despite these challenges, the oil industry is likely to remain an important part of the global economy for the foreseeable future. Oil will continue to be a critical resource for transportation and industrial production, and the major oil-producing countries will continue to wield significant geopolitical power. In conclusion, the history of oil is a story of innovation, conflict, and change. From its early uses as a waterproofing material to its modern role as a critical resource for the global economy, oil has played a central role in human history. While the future of the oil industry is uncertain, it is clear that oil will continue to be an important part of our world for many years to come.